Hello beautiful people of the world and welcome to a new PD tutorial. In the last video we created this, which is basically a MIDI note generator. Now there is something that is not working properly because we want to trigger the MIDI notes only with the Metro object. But when we move the slider, we are triggering the notes, of course. This is because when we move the slider, values are sent to its outlet, and since they're received to the leftmost inlet of the make note object, notes are generated and triggered. We don't want this. We want to trigger the make note object only with the Metro object. So the solution is very simple. We're going to use another object called integer, and basically we're going to use the principle that in PD every object is triggered in its calculations only when it receives a bang or a value into its leftmost inlet. So first of all, we disconnect the slider and we move it a bit on the side, and then we create the integer object. So we can use the short form of the name, which is just the letter I, and as you can see it has two inlets. We're going to use the right one to receive the values from the slider. So in this case, the values from the slider are stored into the integer memory. And then we're going to connect the trigger object outlet to the leftmost inlet of the integer object. In this way, we can trigger the high object that will send out the value received from the slider only when the Metro sent a bang. Okay, so let's make the connections. So there is nothing connected to the slider's input, and as you can see, when we move the slider, nothing comes out of the I object. But when we activate the Metro object, values are sent out because the integer object is triggered. So let's give us a visual reference. Let's create a bang. Let's slow it down. Okay, now it works properly. So now we can change the MIDI note value without triggering the note. And the note will be triggered only when the I object receives a bang from the Metro. So it will be in time with our, it's a sequencer. Now this is really important. This here is the core mechanism of a step sequencer. And that's what we're going to do from the next tutorial. We're going to build a MIDI step sequencer. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share, like. If you have questions, you can write them in the comment section. I will answer you as soon as I can, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.